Hi there, come on in. I'm Candace from Candesigns on YouTube and Instagram. I'm so happy that I'm finally able to share my special room with you. It's special because not only is it my craft room, but it's also my office, a closet, and a beauty room. It's about 10 by 16, and it's not that that's super small, but it is a room that serves a lot of purposes. So it is kind of small when you think of it that way, but I love it here. I'm planning to show you how I keep it organized, and hopefully you get some tips. And if you're struggling with small spaces like I am, I hope you find this helpful. You'll notice that I use all of my space. Every inch of space is used. So do not think of it as cluttered. It's a craft room. It serves its purpose. And I make sure I take advantage of my vertical space because I have to. And it helps that I'm tall so I can reach things better, and I keep a footstool nearby. You're not gonna ever catch me slipping. This room stays clean, spotless, tidy at all times. No lies. There you go. Yeah, right. As soon as I do a craft, it's like a tornado ran through here. I'm sure you can relate. But yeah, let me show you around. When you first walk in, you're gonna see the office area over here. Here's my big pink comfy chair that I use to do office work and to do my hair and makeup, and a wonderful mirror that I use. On the side of my desk are my cricut mats. I have my cart that I got from Joann's. There's a lot of stuff that I keep on there. It's nice because you can roll it out of the way when you need to. And you'll see my shoe area over here, and that's where I store my shoes. I used to have a whole wall of shoes on this side and had a wall of handbags on this side. The Billy Ikea bookcases, and I scaled down a lot since this is my craft room now, and I keep my handbags on top over there. I also store some of my boots in this pink leather bench down here, and that dial you see there, that is not my granddaughter's dial. That is my dial. I did buy one for my granddaughter, but I bought one for me because I just fell in love when I saw it. I said, oh, she's so cute. And these here are my toolboxes that I got from Sam's Club. I just keep stuff like thread, small tools around, they're pretty cool to have. This cart here can pull out. I have some stuff that I store underneath there, like my wood blocks and stuff. And on top, you'll see my 3D printer. Love that. And I have my Cricut Easy Press and some mini tools that I use, a mini stall, and a couple other things like my heat gun. And on top of these cabinets, I store a few rolls of vinyl. And my furniture that you see here is mostly Ikea Kallax units. And one's vertical, one's horizontal, and Alex drawers underneath. And you probably thought I would not have room to have artwork in here with all this stuff, right? But guess what? See that right there? That beautiful picture right there? That is not just a beautiful picture, it is storage. It's perfect because I get to enjoy my decor and also have a nice picture to look at. So you open it up and look. I store my embroidery thread in there. And this here is my Brother PE800 embroidery machine. I just love it. I got it at the beginning of the lockdown, and I'm so glad I did because these things are so expensive right now. I use this thing a lot. I'll show you a couple things I made using it. That's my poor neglected serger back there, all lonely. It's cool, but I just get so tired of having to oil it every time and can't remember how to thread it. Yeah, whatever. All right, let's browse these shelves in the Kallax unit. I do a little bit of sewing, but not much. So I have a few fat quarters that I keep and just some little pieces of material that comes in handy. I have a few art supplies and a little carousel for my Cricut vinyls. And that rack just stores some of my different types of papers. I'm not big on drawers for things I need to use all the time, so I don't put too much in here. And I store my different types of vinyl, my 12 by 12s mostly. And there's a lot of different bins that I use, and I will not go through all that. I don't want to bore you. And underneath my embroidery machine, I try to keep the supplies nearby. I have my embroidery hoops, my stabilizer, and I have a drawer for my jewelry supplies. I love to make jewelry. Store it. And as you can see, there's my overflow drawer, literally and figuratively, because it is overflowed and getting stuck. In this area behind me, got a few sewing things that I grab often. Up here is my laptop. That's my old laptop. I still use it, but not often. My wonderful Brothers sewing machine is the cheapie, but it gets the job done. And there's another DIY I made using some Dollar Tree wood. And that pegboard hanging there is another DIY. I have a video of that on my channel. And my pink mini tool chest that I got from Lowe's. I keep my glue sticks in there. And those are my mannequin sunglass holders. I bought two and I made one. Hopefully you cannot tell which one I made. I made a mold out of them because they were so expensive and I had to try to make one myself. And just a couple drawers with different items, small items in there. And under there, just a few more art supplies, different things that I use, some glitter. That doll in the corner back there, I got her from Home Good. And I use the top of my Kallax units to store ribbons, different things, printer supplies, stuff I don't reach for too often. Like I said, I use every inch of space. And there's a gold version of one of the statues I have, and resin supplies, and some art supplies in the back there. My Mod Podge and glues and stuff. And this Kallax holds a lot of stuff. I'm going to pull out one of these drawers here, my paint pen, so you can see how much stuff it holds. It's about 15 inches deep, so that's a pretty good storage. Let's take it over to this side now. And over there chilling is my girl Vivian. I got her from Home Goods. I had to grab her when I saw her. She has a sister. I call her Valerie. She's over there chilling. These are my acrylic paints. Some Target gumball canisters. And I keep my Cricut mini press on there. And this little thermometer thing here is pretty handy. It gauges the humidity in the air and it's great for resin projects. In these drawers I just keep stuff like my tools that I use often, and the other one has some sandpaper and stuff. And in these trays here I just keep my scrap vinyl sublimation pieces in here, my Cricut and my silhouette. And on my Cricut maker I glued some wheels to the bottom and it makes it much easier to roll in and out. In these Alex drawers I keep just some knife blades and stuff like that, and little hardware pieces. And in the other drawer is just keep all of my masking tape and stuff in there. In the bottom drawer I keep my stickers. It's a little messy, but yeah. And right next to my cutting machines, that's the printing and heat press area. That's my laminator on top there. See my sublimation paper. And my sublimation printer is an Epson ET15000. Love that thing. I waited so long during the shutdown for that, and I was so happy to get it. And I got my heat press there. Use that all the time. Love it. And there's my Epson ET2850 regular printer. Use that all the time and love it. And I keep some vinyl rolls down there. And there's a couple things I made using those. Then we have a pegboard with tools on it. And next to that, you'll see the nail polish and my perfumes up above and some other beauty stuff. On the side of the printer, you'll see my extra paper nearby and my tumbler press that I use all the time. You can do mugs and tumblers in there. I keep my blanks in the bottom. I keep most of my blanks in the basement right now. And I'm actually renovating my basement for what I'm going to call my craft annex. So video coming soon for that. I made this all over sublimation shirt here. I just love it. It's got all of my favorite R&B artists on there. I kind of messed it up. See if you can see where I messed it up. But I do love it, and I'm going to redo it because I love it so much. And there you have it, folks. It was so nice sharing my space with you. And I hope you subscribe so that you can see more of my organization and DIY stuff. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.